Don Mazzella here for Small Business Digest. We have a man that's an entrepreneur, if I ever met one. His name is Angel Munoz. I always met Angel. Your last name?
Yeah, it's a little difficult because it's the ñ that doesn't really exist in English. So it's Angel
Munoz.
Munoz. Yes.
Munoz. Okay. We'll start, we'll start with that. And you have a company, a new company. It's called Beacon. But
Yes.
before we
Uh-huh.
get into well, first, we want to know a little bit about your personal background, then a little bit about your company, and finally a website.
Okay. So what do you want me to, where do you want me to start?
What's your personal? How did you get to where you are now?
Um, so it's been a long trajectory. I would say that it started when I joined the investment banking industry back in 1985. And then I launched an investment banking firm that specialized in technology. I was absolutely fascinated by being involved in the, for example, the early design of MP3 and MP4, which are the formats that are used for music and video recording. And when I sold my firm, I decided to join the interactive entertainment industry. That is better known as the video game industry. And there I launched a journal that was considered the top journal at the time when it came to news and reviews and things of that nature for the industry. And as I was interacting with video gamers, specifically PC gamers, it occurred to me that PC gaming could be presented as a professional sport. And with that, I instantly started working on known today as esports. I worked on esports for 13 years, from zero all the way up to a multi-million dollar operation, and then sold it to a Chinese and Singaporean company, and then decided that social media needed attention, and there were certain lapses in the industry. And with that, I launched the company that I'm still CEO of today, Mass Luminosity. And then as we worked with large companies, technology companies, helping them not only under social media, but creating products for them, we started developing about 6 years ago a product called Beacon. And Beacon truly is a revolutionary video conferencing service. There's nothing quite like it. And we launched Beacon after all those years of development, just almost precisely a month ago. Is it precisely or almost? Almost precisely, because it would be the 8th of July that we launched it.
And your website for Beacon before we go any further?
Sure. Beacon is located at Beacon X, like X marks the spot.com. BeaconX.com.
Okay. Now we've established that, and by the way, spell it out for our audience. Um, Even though you think you know it, please spell out your
Beacon
website.
is BEACON, so like a beacon of light. X, the letter X.com. Thank you.
Okay. Now, tell us a little bit about what Beacon does and what's unique. We're, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, we're on Beacon right now doing this program. Normally, I do the show on Zoom, but Angel insisted that we do it on Beacon, and so far it seems okay.
Well, thank you.
So, so
Um,
now,
yeah, so sure. So Beacon is predicated on certain concepts. We are a purpose-driven company, so concepts for us and the reasoning behind why we develop things is extremely important to us. So there were four core principles when we were developing Beacon. One was simplicity. We wanted something that required no installation, so you didn't have to install anything to join this call. Works in the browser, So that's something that I think it's important to note, that there are 4 billion people across the globe that use web browsers, making it the most installed application in the world. Yeah, there's no Zoom bombing because all the links are unique to each person. That was built right into
Um,
it. And
no,
the user interface is simple, clean. We use minimalist icon outline. So simple, number one. Fast, be it that when you click that link, you're in a Beacon room. We've just augmented it recently to 2 seconds. So from the moment you click, it takes about 2 seconds and you're inside the room. So simple, fast, high quality. We support up to 4K Ultra HD video resolution and 3D binaural audio. We wanted to make the experience truly immersive, so that you can feel like you're in my office and I feel like I'm in your office right now. And then the last one of the 4 principles is security. Two-factor authentication. Beacon supports biometric and hardware logins, and our connections are truly peer-to-peer encrypted, and even files that you transfer during a call are also encrypted. So security, high quality, speed, simplicity. Those are the principles.
so it's amazing. So I'm used to Zoom, and I have to tell you that I am IT challenged. So um, it's all well and good. You sent me the link. What about how do you originate these programming?
The link. So that's a great question. So what you do is you go to beaconx.com. We actually, instead of download, we use the term join, because you're not really downloading anything. You're just joining Beacon. And so you create an account on beaconx.com, and then you'll present it with an interface that is super simple. On one side is your contacts, in the center is a search engine that we have, and on the left side is your schedule. And you can schedule calls. A lot of people in the Zoom world have been programmed to use rooms because that's the way that Zoom works. So we also offer rooms. There are 2 types of rooms. There's public. That means that it's open to anyone that has the URL, which is the way that normally Zoom people work. But there's also private, meaning the people that you have invited into into that room are the only ones that can join. So we have that also. And then we have chat built into it too. So you can do chats and share documents and videos and even MP3s, anything you want, using our sort of interface, our dashboard. Very unique, very simple though, very very simple. Don't expect a lot of complication. We took 6 years to develop this and tested it to make sure that it was really simple. And the great thing about it is that right now we have, like I was saying, 320,000 people that have joined us, and 81% of them have told us that the experience for them has been excellent or good, which is a major accomplishment for us.
Okay, well, at the end of 40 minutes, a big screen, something pops up on my screen when I'm using Zoom that says, in order to continue further, you have to pay for it. So the question is, how do I pay, or how do you earn your monies for this product?
Right. What's worth doing is worth doing for money, right? So let's just be honest. Um, we divided the experience into several parts. The experience that you and I are using right now is Beacon X. Beacon X is the free version. We do not have the 40-minute limitation as Zoom does. We have a different kind of limitation. So when you're on the free version of Beacon, which means you pay nothing, zero, you're not going to get advertising, you're not going to get anything. You can be on the call as long as you want. The limitation is you can only have 6 people on the call. So if you are using Zoom mostly with 6 people or less, you should be using Beacon because it's free, and you're not going to get that notification. If you want to have up to 30 people on a call and have some other features, then what you would do is you would sign up. It comes out in September, and you sign up for what's called Beacon Plus. and Beacon Plus is $4.95 a month, a fraction of what Zoom is. And if you wanted to still have more people on a call, if you are, want to have up to 100 people on a call, then you move on to the next level of Beacon, and excuse me, and that's called Beacon Max. And Beacon Max allows up to 100 people on a call.
Okay.
And so those are the three models. We're perfectly fine with people using the free version. Not a problem for us at all. So if people want to stay on the free version, they can stay on the free version. We're just happy to have them in the Beacon family.
Well, I'll tell you flat out. My next interview. I'm going to use Beacon simply to try it out. I'm going to sign up, etc.
I appreciate that. And I promise that we will have in the next week or so, you'll be able to press a button and record your calls right on Beacon, so you can have the experience you're looking for.
Oh, okay. Well, for me, it's critical because that's what ends the program. So let's talk a little bit more about Beacon. Why is it better, in your view, than Zoom?
Because I think yes, I think that I think it comes down to perspective. What is the perspective of Zoom, for example? We're using Zoom as an example, but there's many players in the marketplace. There's Microsoft Teams, there's Verizon Blue Jeans, there's Cisco WebEx, there's Google Meet. There's many players out there. So it's not just Zoom. But the mentality and the perception is important. What are they trying to accomplish? What they're trying to accomplish, honestly, is just to facilitate communication between humans at the lowest possible level with the least amount of expense. Right? That's the model. That's the model they've built. Ours is different. We want to approximate reality. So we want your mind to believe that we're in the same room talking to each other. And for that, you have to have a different set of perceptions and a different set of features that you have to integrate into the experience to make it believable. And those features include, for example, what ratio are you using for your video, number one. Number two, how high is the resolution? Number three, how high can you make the frames per second? Number four, how vivid are the colors? Because your eyes have evolved to perceive reality in a certain way. We are not used to talking to people that are stamp size and that are in squares or circles, for that matter. And that's what we try to replicate. So if you go full screen right now, you'll notice that my entire office becomes visible to you. And that is the Beacon experience, to bring you into my reality and for me to feel that I'm in your reality. And there's nothing like it. We are sort of, we're alone in that. No other one even thinks about these things. How is it that the mind perceives reality? Remember that the brain doesn't actually see, it interprets. So your eyes are taking photons, light, turning them into electrical impulses, and your brain interprets that. So you need to know the code that the brain uses to determine what's real and not. And that's what we pattern Beacon after. So I think that's the most significant. Why do 4K? Because the eye sees in 4K. Why do binaural audio? Binaural audio is the way we hear. Everything is about imitating how humans experience reality. Beacon is solo. So we're sort of the best of market when it comes to that.
I love your passion.
Thank you.
Comes through.
Thank you.
It comes through. But if you can see my place, the one thing that Zoom has, it gives you that false background.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Yeah, not on Beacon. No. I want to see your boxes. I want to see your place that you work at.
Well,
and you should be proud that is an expression of you.
My wife would be horrified.
Well, tell your wife that on this call, what we did is we only recorded me, so your audience doesn't see your your background. So that's one thing you can do, right? You can just say, okay, when you're recording, you can set it in a way that the only thing that people see is the person that's talking, and you're sort of a voice, like a disembodied voice. So
Well, what the people have said, what they like about this program is that, but I'm just telling you, where I am right now is just full of boxes. Oh, I love your place, by the way. It looks
thank you.
gorgeous.
Thank you,
Uh,
thank you. Yes, this is my office that I built at my home. I One of the reasons that I created Beacon was because my company. One of the principles that I had as when I launched the company is that, as great as the pursuit of success and money is for not only the economy of this country but the well-being of the planet, it's more important to me for people to be happy. So I allow my employees to live anywhere in the world that they want to live. So we are complete. I have people in Portugal, people in Germany, people in France, people in Israel, people in India, people in Indonesia, people in Japan, people all over the U.S. So it doesn't matter. People in Russia. We have a couple of now employees in Russia. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter where you want to live. It's up to you. So it frees everybody um, to have a joyful experience with their life, which is what we're here to do. We came to this reality to experience life, and then we also have a lot of fun working on projects that are unique and different, and that we know in our hearts are better than anything that's out there. So it's a very unique situation. So Beacon is the product. We needed it. We absolutely needed something like this, and that was sort of the motor behind our development.
okay, well, how are you going about marketing this product?
Well, talking to people like you, of course, Don. There are several arms of marketing. I like to joke around, but there's some truth to it that I want to be the little brat kid that was not invited to the party, to the birthday party, and starts making so much noise that everybody starts paying attention to him. It's negative attention, but it's still attention. And to a certain degree, that's what I want to do. But there are many arms of our marketing. One of them is to market directly to early adopters, people who love technology. And also we think that people who are experiencing 4K resolution on their televisions and on their computers and all that, and then have this terrible 480p, which is very low resolution on Zoom and other products like it, will probably appreciate the higher resolutions that Beacon offers, and definitely the higher sound quality. So
But,
there's an audience that we're going to go after, and that's our marketing is going to be all around that.
but given the depth, aren't you taking up a lot more bandwidth and a lot
I
more
am. I am.
storage space?
Yeah, we yes, we are. And so that is a core competency of ours. So, we had to do so much for so little. So we're self-financed, and we just until recently we did a round of financing, but that was just recent. But we had to create technologies that were not tax people's systems and that would stay within the limits of acceptable bandwidth utilization. So we when we were this product was in beta for a little bit over a year, and it was very hard to get the bit rate, which is what you're indirectly referring to be reasonable. But as of a month before we launched it, we got it right. We got everything to be right. We could still push things the way that we wanted it, but we limited the amount of bandwidth. So yes, it uses a little bit more bandwidth than maybe Zoom does, but it's a lot better experience, but not as much as you would think.
Okay, so
You're asking great questions.
been
So
at it a long time.
I could tell.
Uh,
I could tell because I mean, a lot of people make all kinds of claims, right? And when you've been around technology and you realize that everybody has the best next thing. So it's very easy for people to make claims that can't be substantiated. But I'm telling you, everything I've told you is 100% correct and true. That's why it took us 6 years. You can't, why take 6 years? First of all, what company would do that? Tell me another company that would take 6 years to develop a product. They don't exist. Why? Because they go public and then they're on a quarter-to-quarter basis. We are private, so we could take as long as we needed to. So I'm very proud, and I stand by my product. I know there's nothing like it. So
Angel, let your website again where people can hang out, and then with the few minutes we have left, what would you like to leave our audience with? But first, the
okay,
website.
so beaconx.com. I'll spell it again: BEACON, Beacon, like the beacon of light, and X like the letter X.com. There, it's simple website. You're not going to get any major flash or anything like that there, but it should give you enough information. One of the things I like about beaconx.com, which is the one thing that I would add, is you can go on the website and then you can create right on the website. You can create a call so you can test Beacon. So if you scroll down to the bottom of the page, you'll see this interface to create your first call on Beacon, and then you could determine if this is what I claim that it is. If it's not, then keep on using Zoom. But if it is, you should definitely.
Angel, that should be on the top of the page, not the bottom of the page.
I guess you're right.
People don't.
I guess
People
you're
don't
right.
scroll down.
Yes,
Anyway.
I guess you're right. On the top, we have a little bit of explanation of what Beacon is, right? So there's not that much scrolling. There's not that much. I promise you, not much scrolling. So anyway, but yeah, no, it's this has been a fascinating process for me. I'm super excited. I would 320,000 people from all over the world in 1 month. That's not a small feat, and I am super pumped. And I think that Beacon it will probably be the next big thing in the audio and video conferencing services.
Okay, is that how you want to leave it with our audience?
Yes, that's it. And thank you for listening. For those of you that did.
Okay, thank you, Angel Munoz. Did I pronounce it correct?
Munoz.
Thank you for joining us. It's been a pleasure, and we look forward to using it and trying it. I'll wait until the button is in place to record, and then I will start using it.
We'll let you know. We'll absolutely let you know. All right. Thank you so much, Don, for having me on the show.
Have a great day, and thank you for being on the show.